Don't worry about it.
All right, welcome to the Wrestling Guy podcast. AWS, we continue.
Welcome to
It's not your fault, Butchster.
Butchster, brother.
Come in this racist gimmick. You might as well come with the damn KKK. Shit.
What are you talking about? I'm in a good time right now. I mean, we got 3 incredible guests, but the main focus here is B-Boy. Let's all give it up for B-Boy, brother.
You know.
What's up, yo?
we
Can't even go. Can't even do it. All right, I'm sorry. All right, let's focus up.
It's live. It's live. It's live. So.
Live from Saturday Night Live. On Friday, I should say.
And we got.
We have famous B.
And we have from yesterday's guest, Famous B.
Yeah, I'm in the building once again. What to do?
And we also have the incredible, the entertainer himself, Mariachi Loco.
Hola amigos, aquí el Mariachi Loco con mi amigo B-Boy y famous B-Boy.
Famoso Bael.
Famosos Bael. Why you look so angry?
Why are you dancing?
I'm black. I'm always mad.
I want to learn a few moves like that, brother.
You need to quit talking like that, brother. After what I read last night, brother.
Shit is serious right now in this.
And then we got the one and only McNuggets herself. My bad.
It's Dolly, okay?
It's Dolly.
Dale, like Pitbull, dale.
And we have one fan here.
Mr. Worldwide.
And we have one fan that have the honor to be here. Is none other than Veda.
Yeah.
She was disappointed though. She was waiting for Eli.
I know. I'm still waiting for him.
Well, we'll go around.
So just let's start.
Anyway,
off.
so let's get on the ride.
All right. So you have a match tomorrow, AWS.
Yes,
You're
sir.
in a tag match with Cholo.
Yep.
And you're taking on PP Ray and Reno Scum.
I am very, I'm looking forward to it. I always said that Adam Thornstone is one of the most underrated guys out there. I am becoming a big fan of his partner, Luster. He's amazing as well. Cholo is Cholo. I mean, Cholo's the dude. You know what I mean? Like Cholo's, he's man, and Biggie Ray is easily the most charismatic team out in the world right now. So I am looking forward to it.
Now that's going to be a crazy main event. Are you guys have any any tricks or anything? You know, I mean, PP Ray. You know how they're unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the other 2 dudes.
Mm-hmm.
What is your game plan?
Bite him in the nose.
Okay, bite them in the nose, folks. That's
Bite him in the nose.
Is that legal?
It's legal when I was
Hey, Mike Tyson did it, brother.
It was an ear.
I think the game plan. I mean, I know these guys a lot. I know strengths. I know weaknesses. I am gonna go in there with the game plan. I'm gonna talk to Cholo. We're gonna, powwow and everything like that. Get our game plan together. Do some work and win the titles.
Right on.
Let me ask you, how did you get so many guests here today?
I have no idea.
They just hijacked your show.
They didn't hijack it. They're listening.
They was
It's
there.
all right.
I'm
I
saying
mean, you are talking now.
I am. What about you, Coca-Cola?
Yeah, you
Can
did.
we say Coca-Cola in there?
We can say
No, we are not sponsored. We can't say that.
Pepsi? Oh wait.
No, we're not.
Cola. I brought some cola.
Shut up. All right, keep going. He's in love with the Coke.
So now you got the big event going on tomorrow.
Yes.
But before we go into that, because I want to know more about you,
Okay.
because you are very, very well known in this business.
I'm
very respectful, but
I know what you're trying to say.
Let me ask you this. Before you did all the big heat came from this Eli Everfly match you had a couple weeks.
let's start from that little book.
Yeah. Let's start with that guy.
That little tulip that wanted to come to a flower or something, that little seed.
Right.
Okay, what do you want to know?
What was there was a lot of heat on that match. It was one of the most viewed matches on YouTube between you and him.
Mm-hmm.
What? Oh, sorry. What led to the beatdown?
Well, what happened was Eli was running his mouth, you know what I'm saying, and I got word from a couple of people. I wouldn't say a couple. I would say like the whole Southern California, Northern California thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say everything. And they designated me to be a mercenary. And to be honest, man, like this is I actually love Eli. Eli's my dude, man. And I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but I am. A lot of people wanted me to do something, and I didn't do it because I actually like the kid, and the kid is good. So I had I really feel that I had a good match with him. I felt after the match he got a lot more bookings and a lot more notice, and because of that, I am happy. I'm one of those guys that I'm not a selfish person at all. I'm not. I'll put over anybody, anytime, and putting over doesn't mean that you're going to be losing or winning or anything like that. I feel because of that match, Eli, like I said, Eli's getting noticed, and he there's a lot more. He's elevated to a certain level now instead of being that guy that everybody hates. So I feel on that match and the match that I did at UIPW and everything that I did my job and what somebody's supposed to do, professional. So
It was we were talking off air. We had to watch that match 1,000 times to see it. You guys pulled off probably one of the best kayfabe matches I've ever seen.
It was intense.
It was intense.
Mm-hmm.
How was the second one? I didn't see video of the second one.
Second one was just as intense. Second one was just as intense. It was just as intense.
Especially the end, you know that.
It was pretty. It was. I like to think outside the box, and thinking outside the box kind of somewhat gets you in trouble.
Right.
It gets you in trouble sometimes, but it's worked for me my whole career, and I feel that I am a guy that can help certain wrestlers, and that's what I do. You know what I mean? I'm not that asshole that's gonna be bitter and shit like that, because you can ask Brian or B, you can ask Loco and all them that I'm not that guy at all.
Because you do have an intimidating look.
A lot of people say that. You know what's funny is that a lot of people say I have a certain mystique about me, because like
You're like, I don't know if I want to touch that
I
dial.
said but see, like everybody says there's a certain toughness when it comes to like defending yourself, and no, because like I used to do a lot of stuff when I was younger and everything like that. When it comes down to toughness, I'm one of those guys that don't believe in physical toughness. Trust me, I can fuck you up if I wanted to, and I can do it at a blink of an eye. But when someone walks away, if you're trying to start something, then you're more tougher than the other person. That's the way I feel. That's why I was raised, you know.
Putting back my shades on, brother.
You actually really should, because I don't like you.
You know, you're getting the dirtiest look from Famous B.
You say that shit one more motherfucking time. I'm gonna jump across this table.
Oh shit! Fine then, I'll talk with Esse.
You know, have you seen the size of this guy?
He went from Hulkamania to Donald Trump.
Running mates.
That old chop was gonna kill me.
So let's talk about your training. I found out you were trained by Christopher Daniels.
I was trained by a lot of people, actually. I started in '97, and I started in Vista, California, which is northern San Diego. And I trained under Corey Van Cleek, who was a Midwest wrestler that went by the name of TNT. Rich Frisk, who was an NWA referee, old school NWA referee, and he did like a lot of extra work. And from there, I kind of went up north to UPW, where I was trained and did certain training classes with Christopher Daniels, Kevin Quinn. I know I'm missing Tom Howard, who was a huge impact on me. I've learned from a lot, man. Like, I've done certain things with Regal. I've done things with Eaton, Beautiful Bobby. I've done things with when Hashimoto was there before he died. He was there a couple times. I've been around the block, let's just say.
We've seen your resume. It's pretty long.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Who was your first opponent? Your first match ever?
You ready for this? His name was Spanish Fly.
Spanish Fly.
in 1997 or 98. I think it's 97, man. It was Spanish Fly, and it was one of the. I was in the same class as Alcatraz.
Mhm.
Alcatraz and a couple others, and there was these two twins named Rick and Vic Dynamic, and then I believe it was Vic Dynamic that went under the hood, and that was my first match.
Wow. So how that is that when you knew that you wanted to go more into pro wrestling, or is that something that you already knew before you even started wrestling?
I've always been a fan. I was actually fortunate because my mom was I'm a Navy brat. My dad was all over and stationed everywhere. And while we were living in Florida, Key West, my mom, I think it was like 2 or 3 years old, and I think I've said this on Facebook and everything. My first match that I ever saw, it was live, and,
Wow.
it was Dusty Rhodes against Dick Murdoch in Florida.
Wow.
I was little and don't remember much, but I remember going.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I went into wrestling because I needed a scapegoat from the life that I was living beforehand. I didn't know going into wrestling that it would change me. Like when I went into wrestling, I was a boy. You know what I mean? And a lot of people nowadays kind of have the boy mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling made me a man. It wasn't my dad. It wasn't the way I was living. It wasn't mentors. It wasn't anything. Wrestling made me a man. And because of that, that's like I owe so much to it. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, man. Like I've sacrificed so much in the way that I was raised. It like I know this sounds cliche and shit, but I was when I was growing up, I got jumped into something when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And going into that lifestyle, the thing that kind of like wrestling was always my scapegoat, and everybody made fun of me for it, especially in my own circle of friends. So I was in wrestling and everything, and I did it just because. At first, I did it because I always wanted to do it, but with this and everything like that. But here is something that you probably don't know. The reason why I started, or the reason why I knew wrestling changed me, is when my cousin passed away. Like maybe a year into what I was wrestling. He got stabbed to death. Local group of friends, we'll just say, and everything like that. And that was a year into it. And that's what made me actually focus more on wrestling and forget everything else. And because of that, not because of the death or anything, but because of that instance, that's when, like, I can honestly say that wrestling saved my life, because I'll be the first one to tell you I'll either be in jail or act revenge and be dead. Bottom line. I'm the real, I'm legit. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, it's kind of sort of like a lot of guys that when they start off the business at a young age, especially at that age, some guys were very rebellious, or some just didn't have no direction. For example, like the Hot Rod, Roddy Piper. If you read his book, he had a crazy background when he was young, and what got him, and I believe Larry Axe Henning was his first opponent, but he was a kid on the street. But that's tremendous. I mean, you have a tremendous testimony, and look where you're at right now. So that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will say. Like, I will never say that I'm the greatest wrestler. I will never say that I'm even a good wrestler. But I will say that I am a guy that has succeeded in life because of wrestling, and that's something that that's something I can be proud of. And that's really the only thing I'm proud of in life. But you know what I mean? But like wrestling, like it's funny, man. Like wrestling today, people want to do it because they see it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see it. They want to live the dream. They want to do this. They want to do that. And it's good to have that. Don't get me wrong. But what a lot of people don't understand is the sacrifices you have to make.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? You have to lose. Like I was married. You have to lose wives. Relationships go. Money goes. health insurance goes. You know what I mean? Everything, man. And because, like I said, man, and I keep resorting to this, but like wrestling's made me a man and actually gave me responsibility, made me have certain tools to actually succeed, not just in wrestling, but in life. You know?
So you go from the, getting jumped into something, and then you go train. We asked Famous B yesterday, what was your reaction first time you started training?
I'm actually just a physical person to begin with, a very physical person. Training was very hard. I've done a seminar over at Santino's, and one of the things that I touched on was that all the Santino kids, or just anybody, I wouldn't even class them out. Like I would say, anybody, any school has certain privileges that certain, like what I saw, didn't have. You know what I mean? They're in a ring a month, maybe even less. It took me a while to get in, because they were testing my heart. You know what I mean? Testing everything I had. So when I go into seminars and everything, I say, you guys have it easy, because they do. You know what I mean? But times have changed, and I'm cool with that. I'm not a guy that's bitter. But certain students, and just students in general, need to realize that they're very privileged, and they got it easy. They had it easy. You know what I mean?
Why do you think they rush them, or why do you think there's such a rush now to get into the ring instead of training for so long?
I think there's multiple factors. I think one is kind of like, if you're a teacher and you see a student succeed at a accelerating rate, I think that's one. I think another one is seeing a marketable person. I also think that maybe even teachers or mentors or anything, that might just be lazy and be like, oh yeah, and be cheap and not want to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah. And you see that a lot. I mean, sometimes promoters or the school run their own shows, and they really, really need guys in the roster. And unfortunately, they force a lot of their guys to kind of go in the
fill in
ring
the
and
gaps.
just try to figure out, where they're going.
No.
I started. I think I told you too. I started maybe 6 months after I started training. I didn't think I was ready. Thankfully, I knew enough to protect myself. I knew enough where I knew my ring, and fortunately enough, Super Kendo was one of the guys that kind of let me, gave me advice, gave me a lot of knowledge. Same thing with Cholo, same thing with the Infernal, Martin. They gave me enough advice to protect myself, and sometimes guys don't have that. People would just look out for themselves and say, hey, here, you know how to run the ropes, now you can wrestle, which is awful.
Well, have you had a match with anybody that hasn't been?
There's
and how do you react to it?
I know this sounds bad, but like, there's been times that certain promoters, even when I was maybe whether it was 4 years in to now, so and all that stuff, if I would see them and how they would react to certain things, and I would also see them in the ring just to see what they would do, and I'd be like, I don't want to work with them, give me someone else. And it's not disrespect, it's just that I don't I keep myself in high regard, know your worth, and everything like that. And if people and students that are being hyped up aren't not on, I wouldn't say on my level, but just on an entry level or anything like that, I wouldn't do it, because it's not me hurting the person. I'm not gonna get hurt. You know what I mean? I'll be damned. Wrestling's my job. It's been my job. Fucking. It's legit been my career it's been wrestling's been legit 13 years.
He's telling you keep going.
It's been my 13 years has been my job. Is all I know. You know what I mean? Like I've held shoot jobs temporarily and everything like that, but my main income was wrestling. And I'm actually one of the few when that indie boom was going on. I was one of the few that actually made money, saved money, to the point where actually I could help my parents. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't get it. So.
You know, you brought a very good topic on the part of the seminars, which is I think it's phenomenal because I remember Santino's will do a lot of seminars with Luke Hogg, yourself, and
I did want to.
And even in promoting when he had was it Dave Marquez?
Marquez, okay, yeah.
And then also with Ryan when I was with the Fit Pit with him, he will have Austin Aries.
Cats.
Yeah. And then I believe Simbudi has been doing a couple of them too. And
I did.
Bodie.
Yeah, Bodie. I did one in Vegas with him.
You're thinking of booties again.
Well, you know, it's just that it is true because like
Hulk Hogan in them.
it is true because it's like you know.
Bad booty. That's a Hogan in them.
Go ahead, Hogan.
Shades are on.
All right, now you brought me out here, brother. I was trying to be serious. Now all of a sudden, you guys pulled me in the game now.
Go ahead. Sorry.
But it is true. A lot of the students they do have a great advantage of the teaching right now. You know, and back in the days when you guys used to teach, I mean, when you guys started, was a little bit more heavier. So I mean, like with Robbie Phoenix, I remember he would give good advice. Joey Chaos will always,
man.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, you never take that for granted.
No, you don't. You don't. When I do seminars, like I try to, because I know how wrestling's going and how a training goes. When I do seminars, I start and I tell them where I came from, where they're at right now, and then I work with them certain things. You know what I mean? Like I never downplay where they're at compared to me because that's where I was at. I never like like Brian, Famous B, and Loco will tell you that I don't put myself over anybody. Like in a sense to where like I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't. But a lot of people do. Like little Cholo.
I know somebody you're better than. Right here to my right.
I will pee on your face.
And that is not coming from R. Kelly.
It's in the closet. I'm only kidding, Cholo. Love you, bud.
Well, one thing for sure, I got David here. He's ready to open his mouth.
What?
Get ready to gargle, brother.
She just turned it into an X-rated conversation.
Spit and swallow, baby.
Remember when it was serious, guys?
It's because I'm here supporting you guys, and I got my fans here. It's just awesome. What's the deal?
Sorry.
You never told us what was up with the Hogan gimmick, though.
Yeah, why? I know. You got the only African American in here right now. And I'm talking about myself.
That's right, because I'm not here. What's going on with this get up?
I'll make a fast and long story short. For David, it's a Mandingo party. But here's the deal.
Are you starting again?
What is a Mandingo party?
Well, it's like us, dudes. It's all
Just go. What's your point in the Hulk Hogan?
Well, it's only obvious what's going on with Hogan about the whole.
There's something going on with Hogan?
I mean, but
I had no
there
idea.
may be people listening
Yes.
who are unaware and don't know what's going on.
Well,
so we're
so-
making Hogan references
Here.
and this, and that.
Guys,
and
go to
talking like
YouTube.
the Hulkster. So go ahead and elaborate
go ahead,
on what's
tell
going on and why that is
If you're-
relevant to you right now.
If you're a wrestling fan, you know what's going on. Sure, trust me.
I'll tell you. Hogan
What?
was caught using the N-word
Was called using the
when he was
N-word,
talking
but-
about his daughter's boyfriend.
daughter, boyfriend, record producer, yada yada yada.
Yada yada.
But I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree about what he said. But to WWE to remove him completely out of the Hall of Fame and all the bullshit and from the history and everything, it's bullshit. Period. So
This is my take because it's all over social media.
I mean,
it's all over. And then when I'm trying
and let's
to go
get
on
back to your career
Facebook,
because it's not about
Well,
Hogan.
he
I'm
wants
just
to tell you about Hogan.
this is my thing. Everybody says certain things without consciousness. Sometimes they forget about reality. You know what I mean? Everybody's Everybody's done it. There's no, you can't go in this world without sin. And people always, there's always a cause and effect with certain things. You know what I'm saying? And like Hogan probably just said what he did and everything like that. But I mean, you can either get on them about it, which everybody has. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very big thing because racism still exists and shit like that. But I mean, are you gonna be the person that doesn't forgive somebody? Are you gonna forgive somebody and move on? You know what I'm saying? Because like, there's bigger things in this world than Hulk Hogan saying something that he shouldn't have. And I'll probably get hate for that, but I'm serious. Am I wrong on that?
No, I understand that, but my thing is,
brother.
why did it take 3 years for
That's
it
what
to
I'm
come
saying.
out? Like, why did it take 3 years for it to come out?
Because he's a celebrity. That's the problem.
But it took 3 years?
Yeah.
He said this alleged, or
Yeah.
I guess he said it,
Uh-huh.
but he said it in 2012. My year. 2012. When I was out.
Get ready for
When I was out running wild, brother. He was trying to slay the man down. So
He was trying to get rid of 2012. for
he
you.
was. He was. You know what? Wouldn't it be some shit if he saw what I was doing in 2012?
Were you with Brooke?
Hey.
Were you with Brooke?
Nah, that
If
was-
you were having a good 2012, maybe that made it even better.
Tell me, brother, were you pumping and banging?
But maybe he saw everything you were doing and said,
Anyways, fuck all that shit.
Wait, put it in a nutshell.
Shut up!
Everything that you said, I was supposed to say it, and they were all listening. When I say something, everybody starts talking on my ass.
You just said he looks intimidating. Would you want
Kiss
to
my ass.
You got to understand. There's a certain respect value, and you don't have it.
Listen, brother, I got some seniority on your ass.
I'm only a year older. All right. Let me ask you this.
All right, enough dicking around.
What did your mom and dad think when you told them you were gonna become a wrestler?
My
good
dad,
question.
my dad fucking hates me. So I wouldn't say hate me, man, but like, actually, there was a time like my dad doesn't support it whatsoever. Never did. The only time that he did is like, I actually made a cover over. There was a Filipino magazine that was going on in the Philippines, and my family back home saw that I was like top 10 Filipinos that are wrestling or something like that, and it had myself, it had Batista, it had all these other people and everything like that. And when my dad saw my name on there, he realized how much work I put in, and that's the only time I would say that he was proud that I was a wrestler. My mom, on the other hand, was always been a fan, you know what I mean, but I mean, certain things happen to where, you know, parents kind of agree to disagree, but I would say that they're both kind of questioning what I did and why I did it and why I'm still doing it. But I always tell them, I said, you're either going to support me or you don't. I mean, I'm going to love them no matter what, and they're going to love me no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
I just took a different path that maybe they both didn't want me to take. You know what I mean? And I'm sure when my dad was in the Navy, retired chief and everything, I'm sure he probably told his dad the same. I'm sure my mom's a retired, like, CNA nursery, you know, everything like that. I'm sure she didn't know what she was going to do. I just think it's a parent's love to always look after the kid, and with the dangers that come with professional wrestling and everything like that, they never really supported it, but in like the slightest instance, they were always proud because they see what I've accomplished on certain levels that they have to see, but they don't know like 3/4 of anything else. You know, they just see what they see. So,
Was there any wrestlers that you did not like to work with at all?
there's a handful of wrestlers, and it's not that I wouldn't like to work with them, because I don't think I dislike anybody. No, I'll be the first one to tell you, it's not that I dislike anybody, but people rub me the wrong way, and if you rub me the wrong way, I don't like you.
Did any of them get disrespectful on you in the ring?
In the ring, no. I'll be the first one to tell you. Nobody gets disrespectful to me in the ring.
Because they knew what would come right after.
I would think so. I would think so. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be all hard and all that shit, but I'm one of the guys that like, and I'm sure these two will tell you, I'm one of the guys you don't fuck with.
They
don't
respect
fuck.
your ring ability and everything. and your
Yeah,
persona,
like
so.
like you.
They were just
don't-
playing it smart.
Yeah, you just don't do it. Because if you do it, it's gonna be a bad situation one way or another.
Awesome.
Let me ask you. So you were in some things I asked.
Mhm.
It must be yesterday too. How did your friends react when they see you, when
they-
they find out you're a wrestler?
When the certain friends I was talking about earlier, they made fun of me. And one of them was my cousin. And a lot of them were family members. A lot of them were close, very close friends. That's why I'm the only child. When I was growing up, all I had was friends. My dad was always at leave. My mom was always at work. So all I had was friends. I considered them family. Then I realized that they were kind of making fun of something that I wanted to do. And that brotherhood kind of switched to wrestling. When I first came into wrestling, I didn't know the brotherhood and the sisterhood were there. I thought it was all, by yourself and everything like that. And to this day, I will say this right now, is that the friendships and relationships that I have in wrestling will be more than anything I would have back home, with the exception of just one guy. But yeah, man, I'm the only child. Like these, like a lot of them call me Uncle Benny and shit like that, and there's a reason behind it. You know what I mean? But I'm a guy that just doesn't.
Well, even the ladies in pro wrestling respect you a lot. Like Ray's, she speaks
Yeah.
very highly of you. And there's just, it's like I've never met you in the ring, but I've always heard great stories about you. And then the time I told when I would be filming, and I will see your matches. And then recently when I saw you with Cholo on June 20th over in Los Angeles with Big Rick
Yes.
event,
Mhm.
I thought that match was pretty great. You guys were funny when asking for burritos. I mean, I think you were the one that said, "I'd get some burritos."
Yeah.
I get some burritos.
Like this, I always tell
You were
people,
working the
man.
crowd. The crowd was
Well,
loving it.
this is the thing. I always tell people, man. Like, the one thing the reason why I was so successful, or successful to a point, was that, like I always tell people, I mean, you always got to be humble. You got to be ready. You got to be consistent. Another side thing is that you got to learn how to adapt. A lot of people don't. They're used to their own style. They want to work the way they want to work. Everything like that. In order to be successful, you have to adapt to everything. And I'm not a comedy wrestler. I'm not, but I can do it. I actually love being a technician wrestler. I can do a lot of stuff. I just don't do it because my gimmick and the way that I am as a person, and the way that people view me, is I have to stick to that. You know what I mean? Because that's what people know me as. So.
I know, it's kind of the gimmick you carry, like when you come in the ring, you're tired. I kind of see a little thuggy, a little. Do you have that thing across your mouth? What?
It's actually kind of funny, and I'm sure Rudy always tells you this story, right? When I first started, the whole B-boy name. Here's a great story.
You've had like 3 different names.
Well, the
4.
B-boy has always been my name.
The consistent.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But when I first started, because I was always having fun in the ring while I was training, the promoter wanted to call me Jonathan Joker.
Sounds like the fuck out of here.
I swear to God.
Oh, Jonathan!
Swear to God.
Where the hell did you get that name from?
I don't know.
Joker.
Because I always smiled when I was like training and stuff. He wanted to call me Jonathan Joker, and I said, well, because I used to, like, I'm an old school b-boy. I used to break dance. I used to like everything, and I used to go to b-boy summits. I used to tag. I used to DJ. I used to rap. All that shit. Like all the elements. You know what I mean? Like all the b-boy summits and everything. I used to do that, and then my first name.
Yeah, I used to.
Did you
I
really?
sold my stuff because like.
Okay then.
Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Be careful because now you might get
That's why
fired
there's
from
nothing wrong.
AWS.
5 years from now.
5 years from now, you're gonna be erased from AWS Championship
I'm going to be in Tahiti chilling, drinking.
and the DVDs. Sorry.
But like B-boy and all that shit, like when I was younger and everything like that, in the business wise, like before Too Cool was there, before anything else was there and shit like that, like I incorporated dance moves into wrestling moves.
Wait a
Like-
second. You danced?
Yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to picture to see you dance.
Yeah, it was a huge break dancer. You remember my long hair? I used to have long hair. Like I used to. These were all bangs. Remember when bangs were just the
Uh-huh.
break
Yeah,
dancing
yeah.
things? Like it was bleached from here
Oh
and it
my
went
God.
all the way down there.
We need to see that.
Kind of like a
back.
Tina Turner, Mad Max Thunder, whatever. they're
No,
gonna do.
see, you just no.
No,
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought of blonde, long hair.
least you
I
could have
thought
said a
Tina
little
Turner.
more.
But like all
Vanilla
that
Ice,
stuff, and I
but-
used to incorporate shit like even Mondo Street Styles and everything. You know their little flare thing that they do to leg drop. You
Yeah.
know, the break dancing. I did that way before though. We did it way before. And everything like that. And then I realized that it was just almost like a comic, like a comedic type situation. And I was just like, well, fuck, what do I do and everything? And then like back home, everybody calls me Benny Boy, or you know, and everything like that. So I was like, whatever. It kind of went with it, you know what I mean? And then I started working or wrestling a certain way. And I was a big fan of Japanese wrestling. I was a big fan of certain things, and it went in the way that I was wrestling. I was trying to find or trying to fill that void because it was comedy to wrestling, and I was like, you know what, let me just bring it back to the way that I was and everything like that. So I brought a little thug to it, and I was having matches, and a fan did an interview with me, and he called me the New Age Punisher, and his name is Scrub from SoCal Ancestor. You probably never heard of him. He called me that, and it stuck. So the whole moniker New Age Punisher came from a fan, and I was like, you know what, that's smart. Let me work that way, and they just kind of transcended from there.
Wow.
Yeah, and the face mask and everything like that. Rudy, OG Playboy used to come out.
Yes.
With dirt mask.
Yes.
And everything like that. And I was like, there's something that I need, and you know, and everything. And then I said, do you mind if I use that? And he goes, and then I used it one time, and it's just stuck ever since.
I think to this day he still does that.
Yeah. And he's probably hot because like when it comes down to entrance, half mask, I'm the one that's known for it.
Now he made it look like a wrestler, like a lucha man. So it's
Exactly.
attached. So he
Yeah, I
his own
remember
style.
seeing it 2 weeks ago when he went against. But no, he tagged up with Supernatural.
Supernatural
And-
versus Chavo Senior.
Which it's cool. He's
Yeah.
doing his own style. So I mean,
Yeah.
he got his old stuff and just made it too.
And he still got the pink going on with himself.
Yeah.
Pink.
Let me ask you. We're talking about a comedy act at first. Is it? You think there's only so far you can go as a comedy act? Is that why you kind of dropped it?
No, because you can make a lot of money being a comedy act.
Really?
Yeah, you can make a lot of. You can be signed by the Fed and be have a comedy act, and you'll be set for life. You know what I mean? Everybody is to each their own how they work or how they wrestle and how what gets over, what's marketable, and everything like that, man. Like I feel that everybody does it and wants to do it to where they make money. And some people go that aspect, some people don't. You know?
Who were somebody that when you started wrestling, somebody that you maybe looked up to or tried to?
Ricky Steamboat.
Ricky Steamboat.
That was one. Beautiful Bobby In that a lot of people don't know who is.
I can't believe
Which
that.
really
That's a shame.
That is
Yeah.
a shame.
Arn Anderson, Rip Rude,
Rude.
Dynamite, obviously Dynamite's the man. But legit, if it came down to all those guys, I would say that Beautiful Bobby In was probably my favorite wrestler ever.
I can't believe a lot of people. It is sad that a lot of people don't know who he is. Do you really watch more of the AWA and
I watched everything when I was younger.
WCW?
I watched everything. Chris Adams. I was never a Chris Adams fan, but I thought the Super Kick was amazing. I thought it was the greatest thing on earth. Like I could go on and on, man. Like, fuck.
You work with a lot of popular great guys that is to now.
Yeah.
Could you name us a few?
On the Indies, I wrestled CM Punk. I have wrestled Brian Danielson, who's known as Dan O'Brien. I have Cesaro, which is Claudio Castagnoli on the Indies. a lot of guys that are in NXT. Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen. I've wrestled Solomon Crow. I've wrestled Lucha Dragons. I've wrestled. I've never wrestled Devitt, but I've always wanted to. Matt Seidel, who's ever born. I've wrestled all the top names, dude. I've wrestled all of them, and on the indies before they even got signed.
That's pretty cool.
So how did you belong these two?
These guys? I was.
Tell your side of the story.
We just kinda came along.
I'll let B take it because B always tells a good story.
All right, he told me to ask you, but
We did talk about that last night, right?
yeah.
No, but I mean, you know, I've said this before, and I've said this in public. I said this to other workers, other people when we're having this general conversation, and I always say it. You know, when I started, and you know, obviously, you know, you gotta pay your dues in wrestling. I did a lot of lucha shows at first, and this, and that, but there came a time where a B-boy came back to Southern California from the East Coast after doing this thing. And I always feel that he bridged the gap between the new talent that was coming up in Southern California, like, you know, like myself, Ray Rosas, Peter, Chris Cadillac, you know, a couple other guys.
Bateman.
Yeah, Tyler, definitely Tyler. And he bridged the gap between us and the veterans in SoCal. You know what I mean? Like, he was the one who was enthusiastic about working with each and every one of us, and he made it cool. You know what I mean, so to speak, to where we'd go out there and we would wrestle him, and we have a good ass match. And to the other veterans, it was like it made it acceptable. Because it was like, it was like, okay, well, these guys can go. These guys are the future, and he was the one who pretty much bridged that gap. So then, you know, it started with him, and then, you know, other veterans, you know, we would get in there and mix it up with other veterans like Joey Ryan, Scorpio Sky, and other guys like that, and then we would go and we would prove our worth to them. And then now the fans are looking at us like, okay, well, these guys are wrestling on a level as them. So then they looked at us as all the same, you know. But when Benny came back, that's when, you know what I mean? That's when it was like, that's when everything was on.
There was a lot of people, a lot of vets that wouldn't work with the younger talent because all the younger talent were working with just each other. When I came back, and promoters were asking me who I wanted to work with, they were asking me for, like, you know, name guys out in Southern California, and I was like, no, give me Famous Pete, you know what I'm saying? Give me Chris Cadillac, give me Ray Rosas, Peter. I want these guys, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not trying to my own horn or anything like that, but like, nobody else was fucking doing it, and I saw the talent, like, I believed in it, you know what I mean? Because nobody, like everybody says that I have the reins, you know what I mean? And my time is coming up, you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. I want Southern California and the territory alone to be in good hands. Somebody that, like the people that I know worked hard as I did, worked hard as certain people, put in work as much as I did. Because like seeing guys like, you know, like Brian or you know, like B and Loco and having them do their own thing, it makes me feel like, okay, they get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? This is because I know this sounds bad, and maybe it's more the mentality that I still have from back in the day, but you're representing not only yourself, you're representing where you come from. You know what I'm saying? And I always told people, even when I lived on the East Coast, even when I was doing my own thing, traveling and everything, I said, people know where the fuck I come from. Don't ever forget where you come from. You know what I mean?
You know, there's very few of us that think like that. Anyways, what's your take on him?
I love this guy.
How did you two run into each other?
You know what? I always been following.
By the way, guys, it's Mariachi Loco talking.
Mariachi, go ahead.
I've always seen him like work the indies before I started wrestling. I always loved going and watch just wrestling itself. And I used to see him and Lil Cholo wrestle, and the first time I met him was just me being a fan. You know what I mean? He was intimidating. I didn't want to talk to him. Shoot, look at his face.
Wait, let me smile.
But I think the very first time I actually met him was at a UYPW show. We've never had a one-on-one before.
No.
But that one time, I think it was a
It was me.
three-way.
Cholo,
It's a six-man. It was
yeah.
Cholo, you, and Playboy
Yeah, against
versus
you.
me, Lestat, and
Fuckboy. What's his name? Mercurio.
yeah.
Coming down there. Oh, fuck
Hey,
boy.
there you go. There's your shout out, guy. Fuck boy. I'm gonna ask you why you call him fuck boy. I hope you know.
And I said, yeah, I don't know why you call it that. Anyways,
Fuck boy.
but first time I met him there, after the match, he sat down and he basically told me, hey, do this way, and he didn't have to do it, but he gave me advice, which a lot of the indie guys don't do that. A lot of guys don't go and say, hey, good job. This is, do this way, do that this way, and that's one thing I've learned. Always listen to everyone. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran, if you're a rookie, you listen to everything that they got to say. Even if a fan tells you, hey, I saw that you did this and did that, but you always listen to everyone. And coming from B-Boy, it's cool because Little Cholo and him are like, really close buddies, and really they're almost identical, almost the same. You know what I mean? Their work style is almost.
They learned that from me.
Yeah. and it's cool to have people like him, and you don't have that a lot from a lot of independent guys because everyone's looking out for themselves.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Everyone's trying to outdo the other guy, and Benny's not that way. B-Boy is nothing like that.
He's not a narcissist.
No, but I do make it competitive. I say, you know what? Like, I'll go into a show and be like, I'm gonna steal the show. Take it away from me.
And again, it doesn't matter who he's working with.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
That's perfect.
And he's a great guy, and I'm not saying that because he's here and he looks freaking scary,
because
but
he's here.
whatever.
I love you, bro.
But first time I met him, and actually met him, I thought he was a great dude, and I still think he is. And I thank him for every piece of advice, and I think every single time you see me, you always give me, at least one tip or one advice, and and it's cool, and I love it, and I enjoy it, and if anyone wants to listen to me, I'll be passing it along as well.
Yeah.
But again, we don't have a lot of these, these kind of guys like B-Boy. You know what I mean? It's really, really amazing that he could go out there and teach the the younger generation or the next generation of wrestlers what to expect or what to do.
Is there anyone that you haven't met but you would like to meet in a ring?
No. There's a lot of internet darlings and stuff like that that's on. That's everybody's high on and everything like that. I guarantee you I could probably work with them and be fine. You know what I mean? But I'm one of these guys that I've been in the business a very long time. I don't mark out people. I don't do shit like that, man. Like I'm a grown ass man. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it's not my thing, man. We're all in the same business, man. We're all on the same level. You might be higher on the thing, and you might get paid more, but guess what? We're still in the same goddamn business,
Tito Escondido said something similar to saying what you're saying too.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys do feel like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm like I don't get starstruck. I
Well, you did earlier when you saw me.
see. I will punch you in the mouth.
And you throw in one for me too.
Famous B wanted to go all ghetto on me.
He's already given it that.
He's just waiting.
He's just like, say something one more time. He's like,
I'm a silent assassin.
Silent assassin. There
I'm
you go.
sizing you up.
He's already thinking about like springboard and all this shit.
What can I climb off of right here? These shits that hang these shirts up? Yeah. I'll be climbing up on them in a minute.
That mic is pretty big.
Yeah, that's very true. Springboard off the mic.
Careful, that's David's private toy.
Give him a 2 for me, please.
That's fine. I'll give
And
him
an
the
elbow
headbutt.
for me.
Oh, I'll give him the headbutt. Oh, the headbutt.
So how do they make you feel though when you hear guys tell you, they
It's
appreciate
very-
the advice and
It's very humbling, man. Like a lot of like they're not the first to, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people like guys on the scene actually, like Mike. I remember I worked Micah Hogan a couple of years back, and he told me that because of the match with me and Super Dragon in CZW 2002 or something like that. He has the utmost respect for me, and we were talking. Even Stain's come up to me. I mean, the fucking Danielson, all of them would come up to me. Well, fuck Punk, but Punk is Punk. But I actually love Punk. He's a good dude. But I mean, like all these guys, I mean, it's very humbling, man. It really is. I mean, like seeing these guys, like there's a saying that I saw on Facebook to where, we all started the same, and other people's careers go to the stars, you know what I mean, and others go to the moon and watch the stars, but we still going to the moon, so why complain? You know what I mean? And like all these guys that have made it, like me and Samoa Joe, we were like, Joe was a very me, him, and Frankie Kazarian were kind of, and TJP, and Ricky Reyes, or not Reyes, but like Romero, even Reyes too. Like we were all kind of raised in the same cloth, and seeing people succeed where others would be bitter, like because I stayed on the indies while other people got signed and shit. I was always happy for them, man. Like I'm never gonna be that dude, I'm a big believer in karma, and it took me a while, but it took me a while to get signed, get good money and everything like that, and I'm fortunate, man. In every aspect of life now, I'm just fortunate, man.
now you and Cholo,
Mhm.
always together in a tag match or
Mhm.
something. How did you guys meet? And
Mhm.
I mean, how did you guys know? Okay, we click. We could do these
I've
tag
actually
matches.
known.
I think it was at a burrito stand.
You know what? When he jumps, one of these three jump over the table and come down and
Just
take
hold,
you.
just hold on, brother.
Woosah.
Me and Cholo has actually known each other since 2001.
Wow, that's a long
something
time.
around that time, right? Something like that. Yeah, and we were married. We were married, which married means working with each other very long. You know what I mean?
Not that kind of marriage.
Don't get too excited, bro. But me and him were married to each other for a while, and then we took our feud and our matches to other promotions. And when I was on the East Coast, I was the one that pitched his name to John Zadek, who was promoting CZW at the time, and me and Chillo came over for Best of the Best because of me. And we've gone to the East Coast, we've gone here. I mean, he's back in the day, we used to travel a lot. I would stay at his house, eating burritos, chilling, studying tapes. He still studies tapes, man. He's a good family man. I mean, like he's grown into a man, just like
he's a real deal.
Yeah. So I mean, but we have a certain chemistry with each other, whether we're against each other or rather tagging. We just know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where, like, if he does something in the ring, I already know what he's doing. He tags me, I know what I'm doing, and we're going. It's that easy. You know what I mean? But Cholo, I always said that Cholo was always underrated, and he should have been in other places than just Southern California. Because Vavoom, he's gone to Japan because of Vavoom, and other things because of my boom and everything like that. But he should have been blowing up, and it's a shame they never did. And people are actually starting to see it now. You know what I mean? It just took a while. I mean, it took me almost like 16 years just to be seen on a national level. You know what I mean? So, but Cholo's the dude, man. He's the man.
I was gonna ask you now. Speaking of being seen and all that, is it when you started, YouTube wasn't as big. As
Yeah,
it is now.
it was definitely VHS.
Yeah,
For sure.
Now with all these youngsters having the YouTube and all that, you think that helps them a lot more to get booked and stuff than it did you?
Absolutely, absolutely, man. Like I remember, this is when I started getting booked on the East Coast. It was for CZW, and it was for John Zadig in CZW, who was the promoter at the time, and he didn't like the way I worked. He said it was different and from what High Spot was, and all of this and everything like that. And Eric Arjula, who was a commentator guy, he was the one that pushed me, you know. And I went out there, I did my thing, did it with Dragon, did it with Trent Acid, and after that, it just blew up from there. Because apparently over in CZW, they were trying to do a certain style, and it was not getting over. When I went over there, and I did the same style, I don't know if I was doing it better, I don't know if I was doing it right, I don't know, whatever the case was, they just blew up from there. Blew up. Like, I blew up over there, and it was one of those things, maybe it was the indie boom, you know what I mean? Like I always say I was blessed and fortunate for everything that has happened to me, man. It's, dude, fucking from a kid over in San Diego on Southeast Side, man, it's interesting, you know? It still blows my mind. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you, now that you've got pretty much the whole idea, the total package of yourself, what about the ladies, the fans, the girls? You know, do they throw your little chonies in the ring, to get your attention?
Yeah.
The little groupies.
Great question.
It actually is.
He's gonna give you a hard time today.
I mean, it is. I mean, I definitely think it's a good question. I mean, with certain wrestlers, girlfriends like certain wrestlers. There's nothing you can do about it. But the way I say things, if you take a picture with them, you give them a hug, it makes their day. They'll come back to the show and help the company even more. You know what I mean? I've never had choners thrown at me. Never had anything like that. For some reason, girls do like me. I don't know why. It might be the missing titties. I don't know. But
A lot of girls, they love the bad boy look.
no, and it's understandable. You know what I mean? But I'm just one of those. Like, I'm one of those guys that I'm very fan friendly. I'm never like. I know how to separate my personal and professional life. You know what I'm saying? Professional, you want a picture? I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Don't stalk me on Facebook with my personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that shit, because I have a livelihood back home. I have a beautiful woman. Like, I'm fine. You know what I mean? Like, that shit doesn't. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It strokes your ego, but at the same time, like, a lot of people don't know how to
Differentiate.
good word.
Big word for a black man.
Yeah.
Shout out Conan.
Yo, dog, what's up, boy? I know you at G right now. Yeah, he's over at G right now. Yeah, he actually that's where we want to go.
Do a lot of wrestlers, single wrestlers, okay, I don't want to put any marriage wrestlers, I mean, do you think they get laid a lot? I mean, look at me, brother, they did a video out of me.
Do you want to take that?
No, it's just funny.
I think if you're a single guy in wrestling, I think it's easier. I absolutely agree. Well, in my younger years, it was easy.
Well, he did say no questions off limits. So.
Yeah, I mean, like in my younger years when I was single.
Why is he
and
looking
everything
at you like that?
Huh?
He's like biting his lips.
I see him. I see you, bro. I will stick my dick in your.
He's been. Let me get back to the Chonies question.
Shit
The
just
re-
got real.
The reason he asked you about the Chonies question because he did an event here on Pacific Boulevard, and
Please tell me
somebody
some
threw
girls
some Chonies at him. Found out it was one of those trannies that walk up and down Pacific.
Was her name like Barbara dude?
I think her name was like Butcherish or something like that.
Butcheress.
Butcheress. There we go.
All right, going back.
Go ahead.
Sorry. When you're younger and everything like that, I think you call it groupies, you call it whatever you want. You know what I mean? Girls see guys in a certain light. It's just a normal life too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like any NBA stars or football players because they asked some of the indie guys, and it was one reporter a long time ago, and she asked one of the big guys, and so you guys must get laid a lot. And so the guy's like, no, we don't.
I think it really comes down to like a lot of wrestlers, including myself. I know B is the same way. I know Logan's the same way. Like we know how to. And a lot of people don't know how to do this, but you have to separate your professional from your personal life. You have to.
I mean, David's always shaking his hands with the unemployment.
So that's fine. There's nothing wrong with unemployment. It's free money from the government. But I mean, like girls. I mean, going back to it. I mean, like if you're young, you're single, handle your business, have fun. You know what I'm saying? Careful. Wrap it up at least 4 times because you never know what the fuck's going on.
Careful with 15 or 16-year-olds.
Yeah, and then
yes.
But I mean,
especially 15 years, 16 years.
Yes, especially.
But I mean, if you lock down and everything like that, I mean, it's all.
It comes
with the game.
You know
what I'm saying?
The reason why I ask those questions because we do have groupies out there, and it's cool, but there is a respect limited line there.
Absolutely.
That don't draw that,
It's a
don't go stalking on them on Facebook or anything like
There's
that.
a boundary, for sure.
So it's just, educate them a little.
I know Mariachi has a couple stalkers.
Yeah, I wonder who.
It's because of their dance style.
Let me ask you, would you ever do a dance?
Bro, I have so many dances.
His name is B-Boy.
No, not that kind of dance. With mariachi.
Be a pop lock is just.
I was amazed when I saw Brian Kendrick dancing in the ring.
Let me tell you,
dude.
I've
I've seen it all now.
Wait a minute. One of the best fucking.
I saw Big Rick. That was hilarious.
You know who's one of the best dancers that you think you never think? I've never told this. I've told it a couple. It was when I was over in Dragon Gate, and it was on this trip. It was me, Chris Bosch, Austin Aries, Roddy was on there, Jack Evans, Seidel. Yeah, Seidel, Jimmy Ray, and a couple others. We go like legit because we're already hammered because at this bar they had to sign shit, and I didn't know this was popular over in Japan. Like you have to sign bars and all the rest of that shit. So we all do that. We're having fun, and me and Jack, we're like B-boys. We pop and everything, and Jack's all fucking flexible and does all this shit.
Was he walking on his hands?
Yeah, this motherfucker was like sea walking, and everything like that. So we're walking down Tokyo or wherever, Roppongi or something like that. We're walking down, and then like everybody's saying, "Oh, you guys dance, blah 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 blah. Come over here." So we go over there, and then like there's a fucking B-boy battle just going on, and fucking girls were going off, son, beating the dudes, like it was bad. Next thing I know, I see Austin Aries.
Oh no.
This, bruh, I can pop. This dude, 10 times better than me. I'm spitting on myself.
I can't believe it.
Austin Aries. Austin Aries can get his shit in.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yo, I am dead. Yo,
that guy gets a lot of pussy then.
He's locked down. He's locked down. He's locked down.
You heard it first right here.
Cover.
A double.
Aries, Aries is a little. Oh, bro.
We gotta have Aries over here one
I
day.
was like going like, oh shit. No, you better. No.
I'm a little stunned.
Right here.
We heard it here.
I'm shocked. We talked about Austin Aries last night because we talked about what elevated me in championship wrestling from Hollywood, and it was my match with Austin Aries. Bruh, I didn't know that he was doing it like that.
Is he still working with TNA?
I heard that he was done.
I think he did. He done a
heard,
paper
but that's
appearance
what I
now.
heard.
think he's on a
That's
paper
what I
appearance.
heard.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was back in ROH recently.
Yeah, he was in
right?
ROH, and he
Okay,
just
back
did
there,
a.
yeah.
He just actually did a one day only pay per view or
Like
something
in
that they did.
Vegas or something like that.
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah, and I think he
Right.
might. Don't be surprised if he debuts for Jeff Jarrett's.
No, of
This
course not.
weekend.
Of course not. I mean, nothing's off limits,
Yeah.
especially to a free agent. I mean, do
trying
you
to make
think?
money,
do
bro.
you guys think that right now it's like the hot season for wrestling?
Yeah.
Do you think wrestling is definitely on the verge of breaking through?
I think
you have plenty of options right now. I mean, what do you guys think?
I think it's on the verge of breaking through. I just think it's not hot for WWE.
No.
Right.
I think it's going up for everybody else, and I think because
It is.
And it's forcing them to make a better product.
right, and I think even NXT's killing them.
I will
Yes.
say this: in the next 3 years, everybody on the indies is getting paid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bottom line.
It's like we're
Half of
having
us
back
are
the
gonna
old
be
territories, but in a
paid.
different fashion.
Yeah, I think the old territories, but I think you know what it is. It's that for you guys that are always wrestling out on the indie scene, I think now fans just want wrestling. They want to see wrestling. They don't care about storylines as much anymore. They don't care
Yeah,
if you
you
can
wonder
talk on the
why.
mic.
I know this is gonna sound bad. It'll probably gain whatever it is, but like wrestling right now is a trend.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the Comic-Con.
Mhm.
It's just like cosplay. It's just anything that's going on right now is almost wrestling related. And there's a lot of fans out there that were closet fans, and all of a sudden they think it's cool.
Right.
They're coming out the closet
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing that, which is unbelievable for us.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, it's a trend right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's like I would say this is honestly at the biggest trend that it was. So like when I did the indie boom in like 2002 to like 2005 and shit like that, I didn't see what's going on now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think I always tell people wrestling is like skateboarding. Skateboarding will be hot for a couple of years, and then
I
Go back.
I seriously don't think it's ever, like the way that it's going right now.
right now though it's at a
It's
peak.
not going.
But
down.
it's not-
going down.
It's not the peak that it was Attitude Era. See, that's what I'm trying to say is that WWE, yeah, they're still the top, but it's not the way it used to be because you have all these indie guys now. If you watch everybody that's headlining WWE, TNA, Lucha Underground, it's all these guys that, during Attitude Era, or even during the peak period, would be like, these guys can't carry a show.
So then, would you compare the guys that are the indie guys now, who are on the rise? Would you compare those guys to like the guys of the WCW, who was very competitive
Yeah.
back in the mid '90s during the Monday Night Wars?
Yeah, I would say they're probably like the Rays and the Jerichos and the Benoits, the Guerreros.
Exactly.
I think that's what we're seeing again.
That's what we're talking
And that's what I
about.
think, instead of one company now
multiple.
feuding, it's multiple against
Right.
WWE.
Against one.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's where NXT is even killing WWE's product because people don't want to see, like I said, all this 30-minute.
You know what it comes
Talking.
down to now? People don't want drama.
Yeah.
They just want sport. They
They just
want to
want-
see wrestling. That's all it comes down to. They act like people, fans, and I could be just thinking because maybe like too much outside the box, but I think fans, like smart fans, just want wrestling.
Right.
That's all they want now.
More action, less talk.
And that goes back
and
to
I would
what I said
say-
earlier with the YouTube
and I would,
videos.
And I would say, and a person with a great gimmick. Because I think,
I would agree. Yeah.
because there's some that it's just like it just looks plain. They're
Like
going in
Mary
there.
Ashley
They're
Hall.
going in there with regular clothing.
A great gimmick.
It's not a gimmick. This is me.
Oh. How much tips did you make?
Let me say this: like PWG, you were part of, and
From the
Wrestling
get-go.
and Wrestling Society X.
Okay.
Wrestling Society X before you get to
You?
PWG.
I had that same mask on.
Was that you?
Yeah.
You and Bill.
I was
Bill Gunn.
Delicado.
Delicado.
In Filipino, that means dangerous.
That's fucking awesome.
Don't ever.
But let me
That
ask
wasn't a high five.
No, he hit me in my head, guys.
And he said, "Don't ever touch me after that."
Wrestling Society X came out at a time when they thought it was going to be hot, and it was for a little while.
I thought it was. I was excited for that shit.
But it fizzled out. Do you think now it would do as well?
No.
Okay.
The reason why is that I think people that were involved with Wrestling Society X were just trying to. They blew their whole wad. You know what I'm saying? They didn't like with Lucha Underground. It's steady, didn't big high, steady, big high. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling Society X always tried to just blow the wad every time, and I feel that it's with the cameramen and then the producers because I was a part of it. Like it was, like the producers, they had us there like at 6 o'clock in the morning, man, and we would have to rehearse everything that we would do, everything because the cameraman didn't know what the fuck was going on, and it was just like, oh my God. So of course we want to go get drunk. Of course we want to like go over there, hang out, we're sharing our pants. That shit happens. You know what I mean? But the rest of Society X going into it, I mean, obviously going into any type of production or anything, you get your hopes up. But I mean, Society X is what it was. You know, I mean, that's all you can really say. I mean, it was a good premise, it was a good structure and everything, but it was. I know this sounds bad, but like a part of me knew that it wasn't going to do anything. You know.
No, you had a lot of mixture. I mean, you had Vampiro, you had X-Pac, you had
these dudes.
Yeah,
Man,
Joey
they're
Chaos,
awesome.
Tornado, Dizzy
Yeah.
Valentine. I mean, it was just go. You go. GQ Money was the ring announcer. He had a very interesting, intro. But
It seemed more of like a punk rock show than it did any wrestling. Almost like it seemed like a concert.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I don't know what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to do stuff that Lucha was doing, and Lucha actually perfected it while they were like baby stepping.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
How did you feel when you got the call for Society? Did you feel like you had made it finally where you thought you should be, or
I,
it was just another
in
baby
all
step?
honesty, it was a point in my life where I saw the money, and I decided I was done, and I was fine. If it went, it went. If it didn't, it didn't. I'm still gonna do my thing. You know.
PWG.
Okay.
You wrestled. I know you wrestled Samoa Joe there.
I actually was there when it first started.
But compared to now,
Mhm.
what's the difference, or has it changed at all?
They don't use California wrestlers. The only ones they do is Joe. I think it's the only one. It's a shame too because like when it came down to PWG and everything like that, like I love PWG and I know like being myself, love working there and everything. The way I see things is that it's always an all-star show, and they hardly put California talent, and it's a California fed, you know. I believe, like I was looking over like on Twitter or something like that. There's nobody on Battle of Los Angeles that is from California. Nobody.
Especially Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's a battle of Los Angeles.
And but the thing is, it's not even about LA. Like I think they kind of lost script of seeing the people that are big on the indies than Southern California talent. And when it first started, it was nothing but Southern California talent, you know. And it's a shame too because I know, you know, what like nowadays it's a young man's game. Everybody loves athleticism. They like the high spots. They want everything, and they do it fucking great. You know what I mean? Like I love everybody that's there. You know what I mean? Like and everything like that. But it doesn't showcase what Southern California is about. It showcases where everybody else comes in, and it showcases them. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody's getting paid and and everything like that. But I just wish, and I'll probably get heat for this. I just wish that they would tap into certain things, and they don't, And it's not one person's fault. You know what I mean? It's somebody else's. And I just think when you're an internet darling, so to speak, of feds and everything like that, you're kind of expected to do certain things. And they've been successful from DVDs to sold out places and everything like that. I just think that, like, my whole thing is I feel that any Southern California talent that I would vouch for could go in with anybody, and there's no like, okay, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, we want these guys. It's unfair. You know what I'm saying? It's especially a lot
especially to a lot of guys that I think deserve the opportunity. You know,
Would you like to see maybe get given a shot that you've seen that's successful here?
Bateman, hands down, Bateman. B's been there. The local would be good there too. Um, uh, B's been there, Calic's been there, Ray Rosas, Avalon, all these guys. But the number one guy that would, I believe, could get over, quotations mark, or anything like that, I think Bateman would be at the top of the list. Hands down. Hands down.
Question to both of you. Will we see you guys do another PWG show? Honestly?
It's up to the wrestling guys. Definitely up to the wrestling guys. You know, obviously I'm not against it, you know, for myself. That remains to be seen. It all depends on the direction that the company is going and what they're looking for. You know, that's what it's all about. So, I mean, you know, I'm not against it. Obviously, I have connections with the guys who, you know, put on the shows and produces the shows and things like that. So, you can never say never, but that remains to be seen. So.
When it comes down to me, I've come to the point in my life, career-wise, if they call me, they call me. They don't, they don't. I have some like at first I would be the guy to be like, oh, PWG called me, I'll cancel all my shit, go to them. Nah, I'm not like that no more. I'm the guy. It's like I'll email a certain somebody like, do you need me? No, okay, find something else. If they need me back, have my commitment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a lot of people forget that PWG is just it's just an indie. It's not like you're on the fucking WWE. You know what I mean?
Do you have any questions for him?
Golly's been quiet.
That's what I
Well, now that he mentioned about commitment, you know, the show that you went with Big Rick, that day you had 3 shows going on that day.
Yeah.
And he killed every show.
I was
Which was the first one? Give us in order.
I don't even fucking remember. I think it was IWL, Big Rick, and AWS.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, how did you purposely set it up, or
Yes.
you just mixed up the
Yes.
dates? Okay.
And
how hard was it?
I'll be the first one.
And-
I legit will be the first one to tell you. On that day, remember how fucking tired I was that day?
Yep.
On that day,
That's right
legit.
before me and Willie Mack broke the ring.
Yeah.
And Willie was hot.
Yeah.
He punched the floor.
Yeah, he was
punched
telling me
the
that. I am a guy that is a firm believer. If you can do as many shows as you can in a day, do it. If you have the confidence and the ability to do so. I'm also the type of person to get if you want to get as much work as you can. For instance, I've been going hard this whole year, and it's 7 months in. 7 months in, and I've had almost close to like 200 matches alone.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That I was
fucking
busy.
awesome.
And
double
like,
Because it's not 2012.
Yeah. But see, it's not 2012. If this was 2012, then we'd be neck and neck.
Exactly.
Shoot, that's 2015. You got me by like.
I'm sorry,
see-
Bushster, but I gotta stand up for my friend
See,
here.
this is something. Though. This is something though. I'm a 36-year-old man turning 37, and I'm trying to get as much work as I can. I don't lead by leading. I lead I lead by making an example.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you to follow it. It's up to you to not. Bottom line, you know what I mean? Like I go into a show, and B will tell you, and this is like I said before, it's not competitive. I go into a show with the mentality that I'm always going to steal the show. If I don't steal the show, people are going to remember me.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think in my head, or I would think of other people, you know what? Take it from me because I want you to. A lot of people haven't. You know what I mean? There's certain people that do on certain shows, there's certain people that don't. And that's what bothers me because there's so much talent, so much untapped talent here that people get lazy. Like I'm a fucking 37-year-old man, almost like 200 matches in, and motherfuckers are only doing like what
30, 35 in. I mean, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? It's upsetting because like it's that because they've been given that spotlight once, they hold on to it.
Yeah.
I've been given this spotlight for a very long time, but it doesn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep going.
It has me keep going because I still want the spotlight. They just want that one time, and it's upsetting. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that gets me hot about here. One thing that gets me hot.
How hard was it on your body to do those 3?
Oh, motherfucker! Man.
And not to top it all, the LA traffic and gas.
Oh, bro.
I mean,
and mind you, I'm from San Diego.
How did you manage to keep your cool after?
Road rage. Boom, motherfucker.
I'm a guy that's used to the drive, and a lot of because there's like San Diego fans that are coming out like FCW finest. What's up, Gus? Yeah, he's that dude out there, but he's starting to make waves out there and everything like that. And a lot of LA guys are coming down and they complain about the fucking the drive and everything. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this shit for fucking like 17 years. Are you serious? You know what I'm saying?
I complain.
You got lost last week.
Yeah,
I get road rage.
But yet they'll go up north and it don't mean the Philippines.
No, exactly.
I'm
You know what
surprised you
saying?
made it back.
It's dude, like always, dude, you want to be arrested, you want to get noticed. Fucking sacrifice shit, man.
Absolutely.
Stop being a fucking.
Absolutely.
Stop being a fucking prima donna, man.
Right.
Like,
Very true.
like a lot of people out there are prima donnas. Like the one thing with me is like I don't say I'm a prima donna. I never said I was good. I never said I was great. Only thing I said was that I'm experienced and I know what will get you certain places. It's up to you to believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? And it fucking upsets me that people are just more content on doing what they need to do. I moved my ass all the way. I drove from San Diego all the way to Philly, across. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and
wow.
then that's when everything. And then I drove back. that shit is like 3,000 miles, yo. That shit is.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, there's sacrifices you have to make, dude, and a lot of people ain't ready to fucking make them, and it pisses me off. It really does. I'm sorry. I'm getting really upset right now.
No, it's all right. We're going to change that right now. I'm going to ask you, what you've done so much in the business for 17 years, you said?
Yeah, close.
17 years, okay. 17 years. Involved with everything. I'm sure a lot of championships as well. You went to
Tons.
Mexico. You went to Japan.
Oh, you ready for my list? I'll tell you my list.
Yeah, okay. But how far can you take this? Where will it be? I don't want to say the word retirement, but I just did.
Mhm.
Where will you stop? Let's say, you know what? That's enough here. And will you be satisfied with that accomplishment?
I actually have this philosophy, and it's if I can't go with younger guys, then I'll stop. It's the way that I feel things is that I feel like I have a lot of knowledge to give if people want to take it. I have a lot of matches to give to maybe help people that people want to take it. I feel that I've been through enough to have people trust me. You know what I mean? And considering on where it goes and everything like that, I mean, I'm a person that takes everything a minute by minute. Everybody says day by day. No, I take it minute by minute because you never know when the fuck you're going to leave. You know what I'm saying? Or you never know what the fuck's going to happen. I'm one of those guys that just relax, chill. Shit happens. It does. Don't. You know what I mean? Like, I know this sounds like a broken record. I just want SoCal to be noticed, and finally, it's kind of being noticed, you know. So
That's what I told Bart the last time when he was here, is that I would love to see SoCal just to have kind of like a ceremony award for the wrestlers that what they have accomplished yourselves. You're a big rising star now. Joey, and there's and Cholo, there's so many of them that I would love for SoCal to have that. Being served. I mean, being just City Hall recognized in these pro wrestling here in California would be awesome.
They used to have like a Hall of Fame ceremony, and they did. I think they did one banquet. I think Angelo Trinidad. What's up, Angelo? Angelo was a big guy that did it, and it just kind of stopped because nobody really cared. You know what I mean? I think a lot of fans out here just don't. I wouldn't say they don't care, but they forget certain aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? Would you agree?
Yes.
Well, do you think that is because we live, or we're around Los Angeles, which is there's a lot of landmarks around this area.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that plays a part in the fact that there's a lot of stuff to do here in Southern California?
No, I do. I do. Like,
is that one of the things that really just separates us from like an East Coast or a South, to where wrestling is like really huge? Because if you go up north, the draw is way more tremendous than wrestling down here in Southern California because there's so much to do. So do you think that plays a part in the reason that why fans aren't as like interested? You know what I mean? Or maybe interested is the lack of a better term, but to where they don't put their they're not wholeheartedly about it, versus somewhere else to where wrestling can be a big thing, because wrestling is the end all be all for that area or state or whatever the case may be.
I think when it comes down to it, I think just wrestling fans in general are very spoiled. Like, I don't think that we would be like the SoCal Hall of Fame or anything of that nature. I don't think anybody would really care.
Recycling.
I don't think anybody would care. You know what I mean? It's a shame too, because I think it would actually mean something in the wrestling community in Southern California.
Right.
And I think it would be a big deal. And I think certain people, I guarantee you, it would bring a draw. It might not be big or anything, but just to be kind of recognized as SoCal in general, I think would be good. But
how do you see it? I didn't get to touch on it with him yesterday, but Mexico.
Oh, shit.
The shenanigans that went down.
Oh, man. I have a feeling
no, we were all right. We were all right.
Yeah,
we were all right. Mexico was actually awesome. Phoenix actually hit me up, and then you went to Nacho on
Yeah.
on that. Yeah. Brian and B and myself worked at the Crash, which is like the BWG for like AAA and stuff like that. And he went to Nacho, who was a promoter, and Phoenix hit me up, and then we kind of went from there. But we went down there, and first and foremost, they took major care of us, which was really surprising because Mexico has a reputation of not taking care of anybody. You know what I mean? They took a major care of us. Nacho Jr., all the mother cats, and
Tiny,
yeah. All the mother cats. They were awesome. You know what I mean? And we went out there against Everstar and Phoenix. How you say it? Phoenix.
Do we have some authentic? Mariachi local. We have an authentic luchador right here who can say his name perfectly. Phoenix.
And we went out there and we had a great match.
So good that they threw pesos in the ring after our match.
They had a Slurpee cup that was filled with money, and
I love this one.
Yeah, and I thought I was getting hit by shit. I thought they were,
right.
Yeah.
Like damn.
No, but I mean it was cool as shit, man. It was one of those things that actually made us feel like we did, and because of that, we're gonna be working. Hopefully shortly, DTU and AAA might, Conan might bring us, and because of that situation, because of the match and everything, so we will be doing some lucha libre.
Oh, wait a minute! You got all these pesos thrown at you. This is what I like. You had all the pesos thrown at you. How much was it in dollars?
Yo, it was like $25. And this is what I was smoking. I was like, yo, this is a cigarette. This is a cigarette pack. Yo, and then we went to get tacos. And
Yes, we did. We straight paid with our pesos. Tacos right after the match. Now
coming out like this, like we're the fucking tacos.
limping and shit. Like we here now. What's up? What's up to tacos?
You know what's actually funny about the situation, because they didn't know me and myself. You know what I mean? Because they like a certain style that we do, and our style meshed with their style. Afterwards, it was crazy. The fans just like
they gravitated to us.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts. And I've been in Japan. I've been to all these other places, but like that made me
Mark out. I want to say mark out. It made me go like this, like, nigga, I'm good.
You're gonna get erased from the AWS history book. All right. So how is it different wrestling? And he brought it up: East Coast, West Coast, Japan, Mexico. I mean, I know Japan wrestlers are celebrities over there. They're like I don't want to say Justin Bieber, but he's hot right now. But walking down the streets of Japan, you're like Justin Bieber, right? Not hot like that either.
Oh, similar.
Well, like I've been all right, let me run it down. I've been to Canada, I've gone to Mexico, I've gone to Australia, Japan, Italy, Spain, UK. I know I'm missing something else. But I've gone to all of them, and Japan, I wouldn't say by far, but it edges Mexico. Japan was amazing, man. When we were down there, and we were doing Dragon Gate and everything, like it was the respect value is unbelievable. Like there's a difference between Mexico and Japan. Like if you go to Japan, there's a respect value. You go to Mexico, they just want pictures. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like in Japan, they go, "Oh, can we have a picture, please?" You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, please, let me buy you a drink. You know what I'm saying? In Mexico, it's just like when you're walking to the fucking locker room, you're like, "Nigga, can I go stretch or something?" You're just like, you know what I'm saying? But
so Mexico's more like a paparazzi kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is fine. You know what I
We
mean?
left out the back door and it was still there.
Yo, that shit was
waiting for us to take pictures and this and that.
Yeah.
And then, it's crazy because, before it was like I had the experience of having to leave through the venue through the front door, and you gotta walk through the whole fucking crowd. And obviously it's like an hour and a half of taking pictures and signing autographs and shit. But we're like, all right, cool. This time they had a setup to where they rolled us around through the back door. We went in and everything was all cool. But then when we left the venue, which was like an hour and a half, maybe two later, when the show ended, it was still like a handful of fans right there still waiting for us. So that was nuts to me.
You know it's crazy because like he'll tell you, B and Local will tell you that I am a guy that when it's call time, let's say call time's 5, I'll be there at 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Good Lord.
Stretching. I'm an old man.
Yeah, I'm gonna stretch. I'm like this. I'm like, I need to stretch, bro. I need to stretch.
So the show started at 8. We got there at like what, 7:45?
Yes. We were in a hotel room at 7. Because I was sleeping until 6. When are we going to the venue? This is unbelievable. Like our match is in 15 minutes. We're still in the fucking hotel room. Like, we need to go prepare some shit. What's going on?
You know what's the best part? So when we did the match and shit, legit cold, 15 minutes, and we saw each other out there.
That's serious. Oh my goodness. That was so crazy.
Mariachi, have you been to Mexico?
Haven't been to Mexico yet.
Are we gonna see you in Mexico?
You from Mexico? You ain't been to Mexico yet.
No. I introduce you.
Let's just say that there might be a slight chance that October
We'll be with you.
the crash may be possible. So,
How did that happen?
B-Boy introduced me.
Hey, brother, I wrestled there a lot of times. I'm going to show you the ropes over there. First, I'll take you to a donkey show. You're in for a treat.
Why don't you go now and get hung?
What is your beef, B?
Don't you read Twitter, Hulkster?
My cell phone's dead, bro.
Oh yeah.
I've been told I'm pretty hung.
You're pretty hung. Well, I'm pretty hung. 2 inches from the floor.
Says who, Linda?
So Mariachi, how did you end up back from Arizona?
Holy.
Oh yeah, I want to hear this story about the bridge collapse.
I wasn't there when the bridge collapsed.
Oh,
How did you end up back? Because I saw your Facebook post. Help! I need to get home.
Well, Cholo was really, really mad. I don't know why he was mad at me, but he was just hot. He was just not having it. I mean, I guess because my camera was on his face a lot.
Right.
It was awful.
Right.
It was 7 o'clock. We decided to go home already. The show was over. We packed our stuff, and last thing we know is, they closed the 10 freeway. Of course, everything happens every time. Every time we go to Phoenix, nothing happens. But whenever Cholo's around, things just happen. The first time we went to Phoenix, it was with Cholo, and well, let's just say that he didn't see the gauge, and we ran out of gas.
Oh, goodness.
First time.
How did you guys pull that off?
What pulled what off?
Well, being in the desert and no gas.
Well, I had AAA.
Oh.
So that was good. It took about 2 hours. It took 2 hours, but it happened. But this Sunday, we stopped at Blythe. Blythe is Blythe. Actually, the last time we got stuck without gas was at Blythe. So Cholo was there too. So
Maybe you should.
instead of taking 5 hours to get home, it took 12 freaking hours. We left.
Oh my God.
We left at 6. Was 11. Cholito had to go work.
Oh, dude.
And Playboy had to go pierce nipples, I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. But
Hey, bro, you think you'll do my nipples?
we got.
You're gonna kill our guest. He has a show tomorrow.
I'll be fine, guys. I'll be fine.
It just took us 11 hours to get home.
Like,
At least for me.
man. I bet you
Oh.
Cholito was like this the whole time.
Yeah, he was mad. He was really, really mad. The camera was in his face. And you know what's funny? We went to McDonald's and the clown walked in. The clown walked in.
Maybe that was your sign.
It wasn't Ronald though. It wasn't Ronald. It was funny. I'm like, hey Cholo, maybe he could cheer you up. Should have taken a selfie, but I just ran out of battery.
Oh, we're back to me? Okay. Are we back to me?
Back
I'm
to the
ready.
host. Back to the guest.
He wanted to hear the story.
I'm hosting, motherfucker.
Back to the host.
Oh, are you tired?
She's waiting for.
She's waiting for Eli.
Well,
He's in Vegas,
I just
so
found
you have a
out.
while away.
Well, just so you know, I found out on Twitter that he's having his Apple Jacks right now. Eli.
What?
I love Eli. I love him to death.
Lucha Underground.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
hottest show probably week in, week out.
Yeah.
How did you get associated with Lucha? How did you get brought into Lucha Underground?
It was actually kind of funny. From what I heard,
I had a funny story too.
you want to go first?
No, I shared it already. You share yours.
Okay. Mine was I actually heard that DJ was a fan of mine when I was on the Indies.
Really?
Did you hear about that or no?
That was cool. No, I didn't hear that. That's awesome.
I heard like he heard my name and then saw a couple stuff and liked me and everything, whatever. But I actually it was this guy named Raven. Raven, I think through my contact.
Mhm.
I threw my contact info towards him, and apparently DJ knew who I was, and without having to do like audition or anything, he just signed me like that. I didn't have to do audition, have to do anything like that. He just signed me.
Yeah. Oh, they're waiting for Mariachi. So did you when you signed the Lucha Underground, did you think it was going to be
It took
as
me.
big as it is now?
I'll be the first one to tell
Hey,
you.
brother, my hemorrhoids were dancing there for a minute.
I'll be the first one to tell you. When I was approached with it, when I was approached with it, I thought it was WSX. I thought it was. And then I went over it, and then I talked to the producers. I talked to like 4 of them, and they sold me on it. You know, I'm not a stupid man. I'm a person that protects every aspect. You know what I mean? And they sold me on it. I needed to know certain things in the contract. I needed to get certain things switched, and Jensen was perfectly fine with it. Anthony, Tony's the man. The DJ, like I said, was apparently a fan. And it was one of those things where I think I was like the second person to sign with them. And
I said that last night.
Yeah, I was the second person to sign with them, and they put a lot of trust in me. You know what I mean? Because I'm being an indie wrestler, you're your own boss, and it took a while for me to actually trust them. You know, and I think after I talked to DJ and all the producers and everything like that, that's when I earned their trust and everything like that, and then just rolled from there, man. I got I wouldn't say I got it, but I put words in for B, Cholo, and a couple other guys, and I'm just happy. Like, I'm one of those guys. If I'm gonna succeed, I want people that deserve it to succeed. You know what I mean? So
How do you feel about death matches?
I've done them.
I was about to say, because I was looking at a scar on your head. And is that for one of the?
Yeah. But I've done death matches. I've done blood and everything like that. I've only done it a couple times.
What's it like when you feel all that with, from tags, from
I've done thumbtacks. I've done tables. I've done glass. I've done everything.
Pretty much, does your body goes into like a numb that you don't feel it?
Oh no, you feel it. You definitely feel it. I am a guy that was never a fan of it, but for certain things, I'll do it. You know what I mean? And it's not money. Like for instance, like me and Cholo had no holds barred match at AWS when I was champ and everything like that, and we went. What's the word? Ham? Is that it?
We go ham.
Yeah. We went ham. And with thumbtacks.
Or ape shit.
Ape shit.
Can't get any more slopper than that.
And we did it, man. And it's one of those things, man. Because like I said, and I'll keep repeating this. I never said I was great. I was never good. I would say I'm decent at most, but I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. And the death matches or no DQ matches, whatever it is, I like doing them for the simple fact because, like, I've done it before, and there's only a certain amount of people out here that have done them. So,
who were the guys that you said you did it a couple of times? Who were the 2 guys that you did it with?
I did it with Cholo. I've done it when I was over in CCW. I was in Cage of Death. I did Cage of Death, and I was at there was a walkway that was maybe 20 feet, maybe even 30 feet.
Oh, fuck.
That would walk. There was 2 rings. One ring had 10,000 thumbtacks, maybe even a lot more, and then the next ring was the Cage of Death. And I remember I did a spot to where someone threw me into the cage, and it was rigged to where you got a Spider-Man off of it. And then what happened was I got tossed, and I Spider-Man off, and my hand slipped. So I feel like almost on my back and neck,
right?
Like 25 feet of just like thumbtacks. Jeez. Oh. Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah. And I've done a lot of stuff. I've bled, I've tags, glass, and anything you can imagine I've done. Flames, I've done fire too.
I've done fire once, and it burnt almost my whole ear out. That was at the Fit Pit years ago, and Ryan told me how to do it, and I just did it bad. You could just throw it out, and the next thing I know, it just all over me. Well, don't do that again.
Lucha Underground, you were part of the crew.
Was.
And that's what I'm going to ask you.
Still standing here.
Yes.
Bro,
how did you survive?
Let me tell you something. That was Bael. You talking to B-boy?
So how did
Hey.
Bael
To be
get
honest,
killed
you know
off?
what? I'll be the first one to say it. When it came down to Lucha Underground, they here's a funny story, and I'm just gonna break it down. And I hopefully, don't get hate for this, but like I said, I was one of the first people that did it, and actuality, they were having visa problems on the first taping. A lot of guys weren't able to. There was visa problems, and it was supposed to be me and actually Puma in the very first match, and they wanted to save Puma because it's Rodriguez's guy, and
Right.
and everything like that. And then I gave Brian a vehicle. Yeah, remember that? And then I was like, "Yo, can you come here this day?" Blah 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 blah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and then they told and everything like that, and then we actually had the very first match in Lucha, and I put him over because the kid needs he needs a little rub,
A little rub every
but
Rub on me a little bit.
but
Need it?
fuck, what were we talking about?
Talking about Lucha.
the visas problems.
Visa problems and everything like that, but I mean, like it all can.
About you, Bael getting killed off.
Oh, we're going. Shit, I went from the beginning. I think I'll go to the end.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, so the way that if you watch Lucha, it's more of a movie than it is wrestling. Wrestling is actually
Absolutely.
secondary.
Absolutely.
It just so happens that all the wrestlers there are good, so wrestling actually takes over the movie part, and you forget the movie part. What was going on with Cueto, the crew, and myself, and all that stuff. Like, I actually wasn't supposed to be in the crew. I think we did a dark match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
a dark
you did a
match.
dark
Yeah,
And then you came onto the crew a little bit later in
Yeah.
the series.
that's right. Like I did a dark match with the crew, and Conan was like, "These guys,
Mhm.
they need to go." You know,
Mhm.
because we all looked
Because that
alike.
dark match like really solidified the fact that
Yeah.
you should be that fucking third guy
Yeah.
that was in the crew.
Yeah,
Because I was in the back, I was watching, I was like, oh, that's money. You
yeah,
guys fit in. It was a no brainer,
no.
and the producers obviously saw it, and that's what happened.
Right.
So I got involved with them. We did our matches and everything like that, And then the way that the story was progressing, the kill off that happened with me, or Bael, I should say,
Bael. Right.
the kill off that happened with Bael, it was something that has never been done before, and to this day, people say that it was probably one of the biggest moments that ever happened in wrestling. So I was happy to be a part of it. I felt that Cortez, Cisco, and myself had something good going, but I understood what was going on. And this is what I was talking about: putting trust. Put trust, let them do their thing, whatever it was. But because of that killing off scene and everything, like it's really. Like I feel like because I had the first match in Lucha history, and I was the first person to die in Lucha. that I made it. That you know what I'm saying? That I made it staple.
Right.
And nobody else can say that. But
Great way to look at it.
So, but I mean, like,
It is.
it's what it is. It's history. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an easygoing guy, man. I could care less. But at the same time, like, given that history and everything like that, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like, I was actually able. Like, people were excited. Like, they thought I was dying, dude. They saw Bael's face and he was like, you know what I mean?
And
It was
you
good.
know,
It was.
It was juicy. It was juicy. And you gotta understand that when me as a worker, I work there on the show, obviously, and we're in the back
Mm-hmm.
and we're watching all the matches. But what you don't see is the vignettes. So when you watch it live on TV at home like everybody else, and then you get drugged to the cage and you get basically mauled, so to speak, it's like, holy shit. Like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what everybody else saw. And it's one of those things where it's like, wow, this is legit.
Yeah,
this is legit.
Like I was one of those guys, man. Like I'll be the first one to say it, and everybody knows this. Is like when that happened, I had a little bit of doubts. For the simple fact, it was like, oh shit, is my contract ending? You know what I mean? Just for the simple fact that, I've never been put in that position and everything like that, and I was good afterwards. And talked to who I needed to talk to, and good things are coming. So I can't complain, man. Like and like I said, like I was one of the first one to start it, and then I died first. So I can't, you know what I mean?
So you're like the token black guy of Lucha Underground.
You're damn right. I'm that dude, like, hey, bro, hit by a bus.
Yeah, he's like the dude from How High.
Yeah, I'm that dude.
Exactly.
I'm that dude. No, but I mean, it's like, dude, it's a show, man. Like, you got to play your part, and I played my part. Everybody plays their part.
Yeah,
we're all good on certain things, and that's where it goes, man.
As a fan perspective, I don't know who Matanza is.
Mm-hmm.
In that clip, do you see who it was in the cage? No.
And you probably will not see who's in that cage until maybe something happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Until like season 2.
Maybe.
Like
is there a season 2? As far as you know, we don't have to go into specific detail, but
from what I know, I got this. From what I know, because you got the verbatim too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. From what I know, things are being worked on. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
At least it gives us hope.
Yes. Here's another one. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The controversial question right here for both of you guys. Hernandez.
I love Sean.
The TNA.
Oh. Yeah, he's one part of the man job.
Yeah, all right. So let me tell you about this man.
One part of the man job.
No, we can't.
Go ahead,
no, we can't do it. We can't do
all
man job. That's too much. That's too much information.
All right.
Jumping over to TNA.
Let me shut up there. Hey, this interview tonight is about B-Boy, so go ahead and talk to B-Boy.
Okay.
The Magi. The Magi. We're talking about the Magi. Yeah. No. With Sean, I just think the things happen in wrestling. The things need to be corrected, and it did. Bottom line.
Tomorrow, AWS, you're in that big tag team match.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about AWS taking a break?
I have been with Bart in the beginning. When I left to the East, when I came back and everything, Bart always had a spot for me. Bart is one of those guys that I can honestly say it's not even a promoter. He's a friend. Bottom line. It sucks for me and a lot of guys that were given the chance at Bart's because of the layoff, but I understand why. I think Bart needs to, and not even Bart, but just wrestlers in general always need to reset. And I think that's what Bart needs to do. I truly believe that Bart and AWS will be back. And you never know. Maybe after if these 3 shows that happen by the end of the year and they're fucking going ape shit and let's say there's a good house and everything, maybe he won't even take the time off. Mm-hmm. I feel the guys like Bateman, Willie, Ray's, B, and all these guys that were given a chance to actually shine. I wouldn't say it puts a dim light on it. Mm-hmm. But I will say that as wrestlers, not as promoters, because we all know promoting and everything like that, as wrestlers, we're all sad. And it's not because of us shining or anything like that. It's more, it's family. You know what I mean? Like AWS is a family. So, my opinion on it is I think Bart just needs to reset. You know what I'm saying? I think he needs to get his head straight. I think he needs to get certain things straight, and then afterwards everything will be all good. I truly believe that.
You were the longest reigning AWS champion when he came back, when he relaunched AWS, I guess. How do you feel about, having that honor?
It was a distinct honor. And B knows this, I don't believe championships define you as somebody. I say it as a prop. But at the same time, it's almost kind of contradictory because it gives you the ball rolling to whether that division, whether it's heavyweight, whether it's lightweight, whether it's tag team, you're the staples of it. I feel that Bart gave me a run for a certain reason because maybe it could be, given more notoriety to the title. So when I did lose it, when I lost it to Willie, everybody lost their shit. You know what I mean? And that's booking 101, to be honest. When you lose something, it means something. If you lose something and nobody reacts to it, the fuck is holding the title for? You know what I mean? But to answer your question, when Bart gave me the run, over a year and a half, almost 2 years, it was great because I was working with quality opponents. I worked with B and Taylor, and the list goes on and on, man. But I feel that it helped AWS in a way, not because of me, but because of the matches that were going on, and it made me feel that I was. It made me feel. How can I explain it? It made me feel proud to represent it. You know what I mean? And when I finally lost it, it meant something, and it made me even prouder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Tell us, we have a couple minutes, how to find you on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Oh, okay.
All the plugs.
Oh,
and where you're going to be this weekend. And
all right.
Upcoming.
Instagram.
Minus David's.
He won't be at AWS, I'll tell you that.
No, I think on Twitter, Instagram, I'm a New Age Punisher, one word. Facebook, Facebook.com, New Age Punisher. It's all New Age Punisher, one word everywhere. I do have a merch, a t-shirt place for Pro Wrestling Tees, which is prowrestlingtees.com/boy. I'll be having some merch and everything, so motherfuckers bring some money.
You have merch tomorrow too, right?
Yeah, I got a little bit here and there, a little flair, flair. What else? Tomorrow, am I wrestling? Yeah, I'm wrestling tomorrow.
Motherfucker, you're in a triple threat tag team match.
He knows your schedule.
I'm actually gonna at AWS. We have a pretty big match. Actually, a really big match with Reign of Scum, who's amazing. Awesome. P.P. Ray, myself, and Joe. It's gonna be out of control. You got B and Sanjay, which is going to be nuts. You got Bateman, Loco.
Yeah.
Willie and Cage is always good. Yeah. I mean, the matches are going to be out of control. The after party is always fun, and it's always fan friendly. So that's that. I mean, yep.
Nope, I was going to say, and this is this Saturday, tomorrow, the 25th. Doors opens at 7 p.m., bell time 7:30. 9535 California Avenue, City of Southgate, California 90280. Be on time. Leave early because parking is a bitch.
Yes.
And what's opening AWS tomorrow?
Famous B versus Sanjay Dutt. So you better get your ass there on time. You want to be on time because this is not a lucha show, so where you can show up second match of the card and feel like you haven't missed it. Right? Trust me.
Could you repeat that name, brother? Did you say Sanjay Butt?
Wow, this guy.
Really?
You know what? We teamed in Mexico.
Everywhere.
Yep. So
I've done it all, brother. While you were pumping gas.
Oh.
So while he's talking all this shit, I say we both hop over this table
I'm about to choke this motherfucker out.
and whoop his motherfucking ass.
If you want to see that, you got to check us out on
Straight
Periscope.
up. Straight up. That's what it is.
And let me say this. I know we didn't get to everything, but for those that don't know, there is a surprise coming up. Can't say it yet, but you'll know why we didn't get to everything tonight. But just keep an eye on Facebook and Twitter because there's somebody trying to hack the website. So make sure you check it out. All right. Want to say thank you one more time to B-Boy.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys, man. There's a lot of people that do podcasts that's live. I mean, Wrestling Heads is awesome and everybody.
You mean wrestling dickheads?
Wow.
Especially little Bill Cosby, bro.
That's you, Skits.
Love you, bud. But let him finish. Let him finish. Go
I
ahead.
don't see a
no.
feel around this bitch or nothing.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Like it's a like he'll tell you, like it's a rarity that I do any of this shit. So
You know what? It was an honor for us
That was
because
an
you know
honor.
what?
To have
You're
both of you
the
guys.
real deal, buddy. And
Right.
I was like, hey, my hat's off to you, man. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
God
guys.
bless.
I want to
you.
thank also Famous B
You, B.
making the second one.
Right?
It's an honor, to, honestly,
I
to
do
have all
play.
three of you guys. And
Like
Mariachi
that.
is out there somewhere.
I think Loco's buying some tacos outside.
I think so.
All right.
No, you know what it is? He's gassing up the fucking LA Street Dog fucking tank. And he's out there fucking rolling the bacon around the dogs. That's what he's out there doing right now.
Hey,
No, what the
We're all
fuck
of
is
us.
that?
hey. Well, I'm gonna go get me a wiener.
I bet you, for all of us here at Wrestling Guy Podcast, we
Are out.
Boom.
Love you guys.